I feel like, first of all, we should give a round of applause to those of you who are still here, who have made it through a long day. Well done. It shows your dedication and commitment to the issues. I just want to touch base on a couple of themes that I think came out quite clearly today, and some ideas and areas for learning that I think we'll begin to build on tomorrow. So the first theme that I think was quite evident is how much we all love, respect, and admire our dear colleague, Fred Ssewamala. So a huge thank you to Fred for organizing this, for bringing us all together. I think it's really been an important conversation with an important group of diverse stakeholders in the room. So thank you, Fred. There was quite a lot of agreement. I think we clearly know a couple of things at this point. We know that economic health, even of children, is integral to overall health and well-being for children, for families, and really for nations. When we think about the larger goals and ambitions behind this work, it's really to be building a better future for our children, for the next generation to come. There's clear evidence at this point that poverty makes things worse for children on a whole spectrum of issues. And when I think about where the conversations were maybe 10 years ago around livelihoods and economic strengthening and the outcomes and indicators that were being looked at, they were very clearly around things like loan repayment and amount of savings. And it's just been truly inspiring and important to hear the variety and the depth of outcomes that everybody in this room is now looking at in terms of economic strengthening. From, just to name a couple, HIV risk-taking, incidence, adherence, hope and resilience, psychosocial well-being, transactional sex, sexual debut, schooling, levels of violence, and levels of abuse. I think the fact that we are now looking at these things in combination with economic strengthening activities is hugely important for the sector. There are I think there's a real cultural divide. Josh and I were talking about this earlier, between those of us who are really a little bit more socially justice-minded versus straight economists. And it's important for us to be kind of carrying that voice forward when we are coming into the forums where we'll find more of the straight livelihoods folks, so that they're hearing our messages and that we're able to continue working together. In terms of where we're going, I think there's, we're at the beginning of a long learning process. A number of you have highlighted some of the key issues here, so just to reiterate a couple, I think there are some clear questions around longitudinal effects of these interventions, around moderator and mediator effects, so what interventions work among which populations and under what conditions, how do these interventions cause the changes that we're seeing? What are some of the unintended consequences of these programs? We've talked quite a bit today about gender-based violence and some of the economic strengthening activities. Are there other areas where either good things or bad things are unintentionally happening as a result of these interventions? Looking at this issue of sustainability and scale-up, I think this has been an incredible group of academics from various disciplines, practitioners from NGOs. We've had the private sector represented. We've had some donors in the room. I think one group of stakeholders that's missing that is really a key to driving this work forward are the policymakers and our representatives from national governments who can take the learning that we're doing at a smaller scale, build it up and implement it and really affect the kind of change at the levels that we're looking for. So those are just a couple of points from me, and I'm really excited to see where the conversation heads tomorrow. And I will turn it over to you, Fred.
Thank you so much. Why don't we just give Lindsay the floor? So again, I want to thank you so much. We have come to the end of the end of the day and the end of the conference. Tomorrow we will have another meeting where we'll talk about what have we learned from here. then strategic planning, how do we put together that big grant to Susanna next time, and all that. But thank you so much, each one of you, for coming.